Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another live commentary. I'm sorry I'm late. I just had to do some things. Of the last in the Blade trilogy, Blade Trinity. Yes, let's get this done. I'm doing the theatrical cut this time because it's shorter. So let's get it started. Hey, little Sims, are you almost done? I'm not almost done. I just got here. Because the unrated cut, I don't know the difference between the two. Either way, it's 2 hours long, so I want to get it over with. I'll need to see the unrated version. There's not much of a difference, to be honest. Am I almost done? There's the Marvel logo. And I don't hate this movie like a lot of people do. It's the weakest of the three. But it would have been a lot worse if they did a PG-13. And this movie is not PG-13. And there's Ryan Reynolds. Yep, he narrates the movie. This movie really is his film more than Blade's film. It should have been just a Ryan Reynolds movie with Blade in it. It could have been Deadpool and Blade, but Deadpool wasn't around yet in the MCU. So is the commentary in the unrated cut or? There's two commentaries, and I heard the two commentaries already, so I'm doing my own. I'm doing fine, Iron Lantern. What's up? Just starting my podcast because I got here late. I had to do a lot of walking. Yep. Same to you, whoever that was. And this movie, I'd rather see this movie than Venom any day, or Venom 2. Yeah. Excuse me. Do you think they'll make a fourth movie? Yes, they are. It's the new MCU version of Blade. It's not going to be a Disney Plus show. So I'm looking forward to it because it's a new actor playing Blade. He's a lot older than Wesley started doing these films. And also, unlike what they did with Venom, they're going to respect Blade's legacy. It's not going to be a bloodbath like the first two films, but it's still going to be faithful. There's Parker Posey. They have Parker Posey, Triple H, and some other people. Yeah. I'll get this out of the way. Dominic Purcell is not a good vampire in this movie, mainly because they didn't give him much to do. He's hilarious in what Legends of Tomorrow, but I just think by the time we got to the third one, Wesley Snipes' ego just got really inflated because the first two movies made money. But you gotta watch yourself. I don't think I've ever seen the theatrical cut because I mostly see the extended cut. MCU is also not going to make a Blade of Looney Tunes. No, they can't. What is that? Also, the strobe lights can go to hell in this movie. David S. Goyer should have never done the strobe lights. And I know this movie's hated. You don't have to tell me in the chat. A lot of people hate this movie. I don't get why, because it's still R-rated like the first movie and the second one. My favorite is the first one. It's a straightforward story, origin story for Blade, and it's his movie. It's not a group movie like the second and the third movies were. It's a wrap. I never hated Trinity. I've seen worse. That's the thing. You know what came out the same year as this that was much worse? Catwoman. That movie is god awful. That movie's one of the worst films I've ever seen. For DC or anything. There it is, Burn. There's Blade. Still got a cool entrance, by the way. Blade always has the coolest entrances in these movies. That's what he needs in the MCU, a kick-ass entrance. Not an entrance from off-screen in a god-awful movie like Eternals. This is better than Eternals. It's shorter, it's got less characters, and it's R-rated, so something that Eternals wasn't, that didn't have. Imagine if an MCU movie $100 million thousand. Tomorrow I'll start my podcast a lot sooner. I'm not going to go out. There's some action that's still kick-ass in this movie when Blade's on screen. It's not like Blade's in the beginning and then disappears for an hour. No. He still kicks ass in this movie. That was awesome. They also came out the same year as Spider-Man 2. Yeah, and that movie's a masterpiece. One of the best comic book movies I've ever seen. There's Chris Christopherson. I'd love to see a cool intro for Blade's fourth film. Yeah, it's going to happen. And I know Mahershala Ali's bald, but Blade has been bald too, because in the TV series, he was bald, played by Sticky Fingers. Blade is a character that can work, especially with the Black Lives Matter movement now. Trust me, Blade is going to be all around. Miles is going to come into the MCU. Yeah, we need more diversity after Boseman passed. And it's too late for Wesley Snipes to play Black Panther, even though he should have, either before Boseman or after Boseman. But they didn't want to recast, so yeah. I'm feeling like Venom and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse are connected. No, they're not. Venom's not even in that movie. Is Blade he's an anti-hero since he does kill. This opening is cool. I like this opening. When people say this movie's horrible, this opening's not. I will take this over any of the Underworld sequels, and that is a promise. Because those are way worse. I don't hate Evolution, but Kate Beckinsale is boring. Wesley is never boring. And Underworld Awakening and Blood Wars are horrible. You can't even see what's going on in the last one. Yep, burn. Little Sam, that would be cool to see Miles go up against Venom. Yeah, be different. You think the MCU reboot of Blade is going to be actually good? Yeah, it can be. As long as you keep the writers from Eternals away, you'll be fine. Nothing is going to be worse than that. The MCU can make a mediocre Disney Plus show, and it still will be better than Eternals. Because I didn't love Loki, but Hiddleston wasn't the problem with the show. Hell yeah, buddy. I don't mind doing just a theatrical cut because to me there's no difference. Because the extended cut, I think, is just like a few scenes or longer. She's behind you. Um, we all know what is Chris Evans' most underrated movie. Cellular is one of them, and also Push. I don't hate Push. I think the Push is okay. It's not as bad. Push is one of the first superhero movies I saw with him after Fantastic Four. It's still a good looking movie. That's more than I could say for some films where it looks so bad, even the backgrounds look fake. Some films are just not meant for critics. They're really not, because I've seen them. Critics jerk off to movies like Booksmart, which while it's a good movie, I still think that it's problematic for me because there's no male characters I cared about. Some of the humor did not work. When it's not with the two main girls, some of the other characters in the background were just not funny. And also, like I said, the ending was just kind of abrupt. It's like, that's it. They're going to get pancakes and the movie's over. I'm like, yeah, it could have been a little bit longer. Or just make that like a post-credit scene. Can you review the movie Ninja Turtles Forever? Yeah, I could do that. I think I reviewed it on my old channel, but I could do it again. Yeah. So it's a vaping machine. And yes, Patton Oswalt said that Wesley Snipes was a dick. A lot of people said that. What can you do, you know? There's James Remar. And Parker Posey, I don't care what anyone says. That's a gorgeous woman. She still looks like that, even though she's in her 50s now. Beautiful woman. Very independent actress. Hmm. She was also in Superman Returns. Look at those pale legs. Yum. No, I haven't played Five Nights at Freddy. Triple H. That was when he shaved his beard in 2002. Triple H didn't grow his hair back until 2004. Mm-hmm. Sony is going to get Craven the Hunter in his own movie. Yeah, I don't think it's needed because Morbius got pushed for a reason. They know it's going to suck. Put it up a little bit. Now you can see me better. Parker poses a sexy vampire. Not the sexiest. I still think that Stana Katic is one of the hottest ones. Yeah, they made Dracula look like a freaking World of Warcraft villain here. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, who's that? That is not Dracula. He looks like a professional wrestler. He's about as silly as the vampire was in another movie that came out around the same time, Van Helsing. Those effects were way worse, though. Would Jason Momoa be perfect for Craven the Hunter? He would have been better than Aaron Taylor Johnson. Is that why they killed? Is that why they killed off Aaron Taylor Johnson in Age of Ultron to make room for him to play a villain? I'm like, but he doesn't look like Craven the Hunter. Why do these movies have subtitles? The first Blade had that whatever language that fat lady was saying, and then the second movie had the other language, and then this one, I'm like, Marvel, I told you, I don't care if you're a New Line Cinema, Sony, or Fox or whatever. Don't put subtitles in my freaking movies. Just stop already. Oh, look, it's that lame villain from Under Siege 2. I told you, I'm too lazy. I don't want to read the movie. I want to see the movie. Hey, that looks like the rejected character from Eternals, that thing in the sky. There's uh John Michael Higgins. I'm sorry I'm picking my nose. I'm sorry. Just two things I don't want to hear in my comic book movies: accents and freaking subtitles. I know Shang-Chi had that, but Shang-Chi, I'll cut it some slack for being the first Asian Marvel movie. But the sequel, I don't want to read no subtitles. Just keep it to a minimum. Yeah, I know. It took so long to get Blade back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even though the original films are New Line Cinema, not Sony or Fox. I know what I'm suffering in a movie, and this is not one of those films. I know Chris Christopherson. He was on the Muppet Show when he was like young. I know. Here she comes. Yeah, this is the introduction of Whistler's daughter, who at least they explain it. Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. How dare you not explain that? All you had to do was make sure that we know who the character was. Her introduction's pretty okay. Yep, her from Harvey Weinstein's. How does she have a more subtle? Her introduction is subtle compared to Elena, where she has to. Yeah, he's wearing a purge mask. Yeah, this is before the purge came out. What if Sony gave Green Goblin his own movie? No, we already got that with No Way Home. It's pretty much he's the main villain. He's the focus. Yeah, she's dressed like a homeless lady, and she ain't no homeless lady. She's married to Justin Timberlake, and I never hated her. I don't get the hate for her. She's not a Binto, guys. Bintos are my poison. They're my kryptonite. I see them on screen and I cringe. I bet the next big threat after Thanos will either be Galactus, yeah, because he can eat planets. After the Fantastic Four gets an MCU reboot, or more powerful villain that threatens to destroy, like Onslaught. Again, why are you bothering her? They think she's a helpless old lady. She's not a young lady. She's not. It's not a real baby. Not a real baby, you dumbasses. Yeah, exactly. You should have thought better, you three dumbasses. That's cool. Yeah, at least she can fight for herself. She doesn't need no man to take care of her. And she doesn't have superpowers. Like, I like their character. I know a lot of people didn't like her or Ryan Reynolds, but they at least were interesting and they didn't kill them off. Oh yes, sexy brunette, man. Justin Timberlake, you lucky man. He probably watches this and gets turned on by it. With the Kind the Conqueror, he's going to lead up to the Galactus, and we're going to get him in the flesh. Jessica Biel doesn't have a perfect resume, but compared to other actresses I've seen that have caused me pain, at least she took a break for a while. Not every movie she did is horrible. Trust me on that one. She got this after the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I do like. It's a lot better than what we're getting this year with that new Texas Chainsaw, which I'm like, we know it's going to suck, guys. Just give it up already. That bow and arrow is awesome, by the way. It's like Katniss Everdeen. It's a bow. That was awesome. I don't care what anyone says. Critic, you can complain all you want, saying, "Oh, she's a Mary Sue character." No, she's not. She fooled them. That's something that the hobo couldn't have done. If the hobo fought these guys, she would just use the force to drive them into the next world in 2 seconds. That would have been lamer. You know what else eats planets? Unicron. Again, I know there's potential that Morbius could be better than Venom, but here's the thing: Leto is a cartoon character now, guys. When was the last time he gave a good performance? To me, it was Blade Runner 2049, and he's barely in that movie. He plays a blind man. Anybody could have done that. I played a blind man once on stage. I don't need to have him play another cartoon character. He already ruined Joker. House of Gucci is a freaking cartoon character with an Italian accent, and that was laughable. It was laughable when it was conceived. Who's an Italian actor that we can that's Italian American that could do an accent like Mario? Oh, Jared Leto. Bad choice, guys. That's why I didn't get any Oscars, because it's dumb. I bet that movie would have gotten an Oscar if they didn't have the stupid accents. One person could have had the accent, and that was what's her face? Lady Gaga. It's just they made her sound Russian instead of Italian for some reason. A lot of people complain saying this is one of the worst sequels I've ever seen. No, I don't feel that way. I've seen way worse. X-Men The Last Stand came out a few years after this. Way more disappointing. Apocalypse was worse. Because that was 2.5 hours. What is Tom Hardy's best role? Inception. He's not the lead, and he's not... He's not that. He's subtle because Nolan made him act his ass off. Hold on. I don't know what people are complaining about. They're just like, oh, it's Blade is getting upstaged as his own movie. No, that doesn't happen until Ryan Reynolds shows up. And he steals the show as Hannibal. Yeah, that is a pretty cool bow and arrow, kind of like Katniss Everdeen or Hawkeye. Yeah, and it's badass. Tell me one badass thing that Yelena did. Yelena needed help to beat people because she always makes mistakes. She can't do anything right. You can't even do the accent right. You sound like a robot. That would have been the best twist in Black Widow if she was a robot and she was a human. I'd be like, I didn't see that coming, Marvel. But you made a robotic Russian girl. And if you put Whistler in the new movie, don't kill him off in the first movie, guys. It's just going to be repetitive. Do your own thing. I just want to see Blade go to town. That's it. He should take care of Harrington and cut his head off. No, you're not going to get an Eternals 2. Clank. And that's it. You can show blood in a PG-13 movie. No, thank you. Level Up Thursday. Check out the new poster for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Oh, I'm seeing that in the theater. I love the first one. Oh, great. Somebody spoiled Peacemaker's finale. Please stop doing that, guys. On Twitter and Facebook, please stop spoiling the freaking ending. I haven't even finished Peacemaker. They put Aquaman and the Flash. Yay, now I can expect it. Man, fuck the internet sometimes, man. They're always spoiling everything. With the Flash movie, I don't want to see anything. I'm not going to be on YouTube that whole day or Facebook. That way, nobody can spoil it for me because I need that movie more than life itself at this point in my life. Yeah, like I said, they spoiled that in the freaking ending. Spider-Man No Way Home is almost on DVD. Well, yeah, it will be. Catwoman, they didn't have it on DVD. They only had the Blu-ray digital copy of Catwoman Hunted. That's fine because I can get it on Blu-ray. I have Blu-ray. He's just sitting there. It is a flawed movie. I'm not going to say this is a great film, but compared to what I've recently seen, it's not as bad as people say. At least it's a complete trilogy. It's not like we have to go through, wait for another movie to come out to get our finale. This is why Blade is mostly alone in this movie, and he doesn't have to join the other two characters until. Just like the scene in Thor. Remember when they capture Thor? If people think that Batman v Superman is one of the worst movies ever made, watch stuff in IMDb. Go to the bottom list and see those films, and tell me if those are any better, because they're not. They're the worst of all time for a reason. Hey John, how's it going? Blade Trinity is definitely underrated. I can watch it as a guilty pleasure. I can too, because it's not the worst. It's the weakest of the three, but it's not horrible. I also watched your video to Captain America: The Winter Soldier. That was a better sequel. Yeah, it is better than this, but again, that had a bigger budget and people loved it. Critics loved it. Audiences loved it. It made a lot of money, and it had the two most decorated directors that are working today, the Russo brothers. David S. Goyer, he's hit and miss. I mean, the guy started with freaking Full Moon doing the Puppet Master movies and things like that. You know, he did a lot of like demonic toys and all that. Yeah, he did a lot of Full Moon projects. Let's see. People spoiled the freaking ending. Peacemaker, no spoilers in the chat or you'll be blocked. I mean it. David S. Goyer did a worse job with Terminator Dark Fate. The opening scene, he pisses you off. We're going to kill off John Connor to have this Mexican girl take his place. Oh, kiss my male ass. What if Yelena from Black Widow was talking to like Tom Holland was? No, it would still suck. I'm not spoiling nothing for Peacemaker. Yeah, they should have spoiled it on Facebook. These idiots always do that. They go on these websites and they like, boom, look, Aquaman and the Flash are in it. Why did you spoil that? And it wasn't you, Josh. It was somebody else in one of the groups. I don't get it. I don't know why people have to spoil everything. Just like when I saw Book of Boba Fett and they spoiled that Mando was showing up. Can never see anything in a surprise. Sonic 2, no spoilers. The Flash, no spoilers. Secrets of Dumbledore, not a word. Not a bitten. Say nothing until I've seen it. Then you can spoil it. Multiverse of Madness, no one better spoil it. No, don't spoil anything. The week it comes out, I'm not going to be on Facebook. I'm going to just post things after it's over because I'm like, yeah, guys, you're spoiling everything for people. It's like back in the day when I was a kid, nothing ever was spoiled for me because I would watch it at home or in the theater. Nowadays, a movie before it comes out or a show when as soon as it streams, people want to post spoilers. What the hell, man? He did the Sandman. Yeah, I'm not seeing the Sandman. If it has Bentos, to hell with it. This is as a director or as a writer? As a writer. Yeah, he started with this. Started his first movie he wrote was Death Warrant. That's okay. That's an okay Van Damme movie. Kickboxer 2, you should not have killed off Van Damme's character. Do literally anyone on the internet spoil No Way Home? No. I already knew. I already knew that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire were going to show up. They just didn't say when. Demonic Toys, Arcade, Dollman versus the Demonic Toys. So yeah, he did the Puppet Masters. I was right. He wrote the first movie, the second movie, Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys. So yeah, he's hit and miss. For every Blade, he has like 5 movies that are just terrible that he wrote or directed. The Unborn, that's a terrible movie. I didn't even see it. But I'm not seeing The Sandman. Let me tell you how many Bintos are in that show. It's a series. It's not the Sandman from Marvel. It's just some different Sandman. Let's check the list of these shitty actors, shall we? You got David Thewlis. He's good in Harry Potter, but he's not good here. Jenna Coleman. I don't care. Skip. Boyd Holbrook. I never even heard of him. Charles Dance. Good actor, but he's old and he's underused. Patton Oswalt. I like him. Gwendolyn Christie. Yeah. The Binto that was Phasma that did nothing in The Force Awakens. Jolie Richardson. Again, I could take her or leave her. Too many Bintos in this show. Too many. You got to be better with your casting, Hollywood, or just stop. You might as well cast CGI. It would be better for you. If Michelle Jones gets her own movie, would you see it? Maybe. And who the hell is John Cameron Mitchell? I never even heard of this guy. You didn't mind if people were to spot the Star Wars prequels after people were to spoil it. Yeah, there was nothing to spoil. When Rogue One came out, I read the spoilers to see who would live and who would die. And when everybody died, I'm like, good riddance. No, this guy's American, the guy playing the Sandman. But you know what movie he did? He was Hedwig. Yes, Hedwig. No, not the Harry Potter's owl. Hedwig and the what was it? This gay movie that I will never watch. Men should not dress up as women unless it's a joke. What's worse, The Amazing Spider-Man or Venom? Venom. Easily, because I rewatched The Amazing Spider-Man. I will never rewatch Venom. It hurt me. That was cool. Some of the CG is hit and miss, but it's not that bad. Yeah. Hedwig and the Angry Itch. If you've seen again, yep. Hello. Hallible King, yep. AKA Deadpool with a beard. Because that's basically what Ryan Reynolds is. This is when Wesley Snipes is like, I don't like these kids. I don't want them to see me. I'm Blade. I'm not Wesley Snipes. Yeah, that was him throughout the whole production. The fact that Ryan Reynolds had a career after this is beyond me. It's like, I'm so shocked because I'm like, he did so many bombs after this, and yet he did Deadpool and the rest is history. And yet Wesley was the one that went to prison. People just spoil things without getting others a chance to see it. A surprise. Boyd Holbrook and John Carroll Lynch. I know these guys. Yeah, but I don't really care about them. The actors are just hit and miss for me. I hate and Patton Oswalt's in too much now. He has like vampire braces. I hated both the Amazing Spider-Man movies and Venom. Those insulted me as yeah, and they were boring. This movie's not boring. It has a lot of problems, but boredom is not one of them. It doesn't go on for 2.5 hours of talking like we get it already. They were going to make Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4. Yeah, but then Marvel, Sony pulled the plug and were like, no, let's just reboot it because 3 got such a bad reaction. No, they could have done a 4. David S. Goyer is not the worst writer I've ever seen because I'm like, I have seen way worse. Have you seen a Uwe Boll film? Yeah. Or anything that Olivia Megaton has done? His movies are unbearable to watch. Sorry, Josh. Columbiana has some of the worst editing I've ever seen in my life. I've seen clips of it, and I'm like, good God. That's a sexy outfit. Yes, Josh. She stole that outfit from Karen Gilliam. Yeah, I know. I know you don't have to tell me. She looks just like Karen Gilliam in the Jungle Crew, the Jumanji fit sequels. Red shirt and pants instead of shorts. She looks just like her. I know she looks like a lot like whatever her name was in. I forgot what her name was in Jumanji. I gotta check. And he was much younger here doing it's entertaining. It's not high art, guys. Hell yeah, buddy. Would you be angry if people spoiled Endgame? Oh, I told them to shut the fuck up. When I was in the theater, I'm like, don't spoil it. Don't you dare. I said it. I don't care. I don't go to the theater for movies to be spoiled for me. When No Way Home came out, I avoided people coming out of the theater. I went to the bathroom so I could avoid spoilers. I got to do that, guys. Any girl wear that outfit Jessica wears. Yeah, let me see what Karen's name was in Jumanji. I forgot what her name was. That's awesome. A girl with a bow and arrow. And it's not CG. It's mostly a real arrow. That's cool. People just was upset that Blade got overshadowed in his own movie. Did you see the second one? Because guess what? That happened too. When they introduced those ninjas, do you blush? I'm like, yeah, of course he blushes. That is Karen Gilliam's outfit, a red shirt and the same color pants. Just she's wearing pants instead of shorts. I want Shamik Moore to appear in the Hum Haunted Spider-Man. He will probably, and so will Miles. Live action. That was awesome. Her name was Martha. Yeah, I know. Why did you say that name again? I know David S. Goyer wrote that. Did he? Yeah, I think he did. Yeah. That would have been like Save Martha if somebody spoiled that in the movie. I'm like, no, I wanted to see that for myself. Nice. If anyone tries to spoil a movie, just cover your ears. No, I gotta just listen to some music. Yeah. Gorgeous daughter, by the way. It's not a transgender, she's a real woman. That's all I want, guys. A real woman, not a disease. That's why I don't want to see Blunt act. She said no to comic book movies because of other commitments. You mean something shitty. Num num num. And you are a beautiful woman. I don't care what anyone says. You do not need to change that. Jessica Biel, don't even think about changing your gender. You are fine the way you are. You don't need to change. People change into men turning into women and women. He's funny. I love Ryan Reynolds. I know people. I know people. There's Patton Oswalt. Oh yeah. Oh, that's Natasha Leon, right? Yeah, that's in a cameo. I really want Michelle Jones to meet Miles. See, she will. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, Chris Terrio and David S. Goyer wrote Batman v Superman. So why did you say that name was from David S. Goyer? Again, I know that scene is bad, but it didn't take me out of the movie because the worst thing in that movie will always be Lex Luthor. Jesse Eisenberg shaking and talking fast, that was not my Lex Luthor. I'm sorry. Chris Terrio, he should never write again. Yeah, they're a bunch of white kids. Yeah. That's good. No, it's not. I love Ryan Reynolds. Yes, I know Red Notice wasn't a masterpiece, Josh, but he cracks me up. Just his face cracks me up. He was a great Pikachu, a great Deadpool, and he was the funniest thing in that movie. He said, "A bunch of white people are going to tell me what to do." Ha 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 ha. Well, the director of the new Blade is going to be a white guy. It's not going to be. Not everything can be diverse. Blade. He's writing Justice League Part 2. You better not screw this. You are a sexy pale woman. I know, guys. I'm weird. I know. You don't have to tell me twice. That's a good effect, by the way. Triple H's getting in. What's your thoughts on The Boys? I'll see it. I'm going to watch it in March because it's coming back in May. Oh, that puppy is so cute. Puppy Whoopie. This guy looks like Tom Hiddleston. Yeah, he looks just like Tom. Look at the puppy Whoopie. Yeah, that's a Pomeranian. That dog is so cute. It's a real dog until the mouth opens up like a Resident Evil villain. Yeah, this guy wrote Rise of Skywalker, so he should never write again. I'm sorry. I know he won an Oscar for Argo, but no. Never write again, dude. No, don't write any more franchises. Terrario. You can't write. In your Spider-Man movie ranking, where would you put Into the Spider-Verse? It's in the top 5 at least. Not my top 1. The animation is still hard to get used to. I like my Spider-Man's live action, just in my opinion. The best Spider-Man movies are the live action ones, in my opinion, because Into the Spider-Verse, they did a live action already. It was called No Way Home, mostly. Yeah, like in the movie Teeth, yeah. When Jesse Eisenberg started shaking his head and acting crazy, was that the executive saying, "Let's make Lex Luthor like Joker"? Exactly. He thought it was Joker or the Riddler. I'm like, you're not the Joker or the Riddler. He was nothing like Gene Hackman or Kevin Spacey or the guy from from Smallville, or even a better Lex Luthor on Supergirl, John Cryer. He was a better Lex Luthor. He wasn't a cartoon character, a comic book. Meta, wink, wink. Across the Spider Verse will be better. Yeah, it will be. The DVD player's skipping. I have to clean it, so don't worry about it. I'm going to still do the podcast. They gone. Okay. Yeah, now they're giving him the exposition on his backstory, even though. And this is Ryan Reynolds' first comic book movie. He did this one, and then he did what was it? Origins Wolverine, which is way worse than this because even the effects suck. And then you had Green Lantern. That red outfit that Jessica and Karen wears, I like to see that outfit be worn by Caitlin. If Caitlin wears that, I will marry her. I mean it. Is Lex Luthor smart and makes his own plans? Through? Do you know about High Guardian Spice? No, I don't know what that is. He looks just like my cousin, man, Ryan Reynolds. And he's taking a break. He's doing a Netflix movie, which is coming out in March. I'm going to see that. Heard their cast is going to be really good. People just hate to hate. I have a reason for my anger. Trust me, my anger comes from some source that just hurts my stomach. If it doesn't agree with my stomach, I trust me. That's what hurts me more. The Spider live action movies are definitely better. Yeah, I just prefer them live action. Cartoons are better when they're on TV or on streaming. When they're in the theater, it can be hit or miss for me. This is why they don't make a lot of superhero movies in CG or animated, because they did the what? They did the Incredibles 2, and Into the Spider Verse. And no, I'm not counting that Super Pets. That's going to be stupid. But the best animated versions of the characters from the Spectacular Spider-Man and the '90s cartoon. Yeah, I do agree with that. What's your thoughts on the upcoming 2023 Ninja Turtles? I'll wait for a trailer because when I saw the trailer for the Rise of the Ninja Turtles, I hated it. I hated the animation and the designs looked terrible. They look like the Michael Bay atrocities from 2014 and 2016, where Donatello had a big head and Raph had the freaking bulky look. The only one with a decent look was Michelangelo, but it was an awful design. Count Chocula. I love that cereal. A goth chick. Num num num. Those are cute. The movie's being kind of meta. I like that. It's not taking itself seriously. If people wanted to take this seriously, like the first movie, this is not the Blade movie for you. Dildos. No, keep that away from me. I have the real thing. Yeah, it's still skipping. Uh, Count Chocula, they don't sell it until like the month of October. Nope. He wants to kill you. Yes, violence towards women. I get it, guys. But you saw Birds of Prey, so you tell me which is worse. Some girls like that. Is she wearing a Motorhead shirt? That's cool. See, there's still gore in this movie. It's not a PG-13. What's worse, Michael Bay's TMNT or The Amazing Spider-Man? They're both terrible. Hmm. Hey, Natasha Lyonne. She did this because American Wedding Date, she wasn't in that movie. There was only one girl back from that movie. Hmm. No, I've never seen, but I'm a cheerleader. You know why, guys? Because, Natasha Lyonne's character and several others are, yeah. And she's beautiful in the movie, don't get me wrong. But again, there is only so much of that I can handle. Hell yeah, buddy. And it's a little girl. SpongeBob or the 2012 Ninja Turtles. SpongeBob every day. They're taking the Netflix Marvel series out. I know, but I can watch them somewhere else. That was a cool line. I like that line. The fact that this movie was even made is a miracle. Wow. What if they made Lego Blade? That would be cool. They've done Lego, Marvel and DC, so yeah, that looks cool. Why didn't they give Wonder Woman a weapon like that instead of taking her weapons away? All they gave her was the freaking whip. Thanks a lot for that, freaking Jeff Johns, you freaking idiot. He's a worse writer than David S. Goyer because he's the one that pussified Wonder Woman and Stargirl. Blame that idiot. Thank God he's not writing The Flash. SpongeBob is a classic, but I still enjoy the team. It's a good cartoon. It's better than the Rise of Ninja Turtles. We're almost an hour in. Doctor Strange 2 will change the MCU forever. I know. Everything wrong with Punisher Warzone. Oh yeah, definitely. The casting in that movie is way worse than this because that movie is trying to be a cartoon and it doesn't fit the Punisher. The Punisher is not a cartoon. He's a dark character. Yep, she listens to music while she kicks ass. That's an interesting. Hey, Miles does that, so you can't say that no one has done that in the Marvel. Miles listens to headphones in his room. That's how the trailer started. Him listening to his wireless headphones while you're doing that. Yeah, you're gonna kick some ass. Listen to some music. Yeah, you are so sexy, Jessica Biel. So sexy. If 2023 is animated, okay, no skepticism. But if it's live action, the turtles right. Make the turtles look right. Yeah, Shrek Hulk's like, no, I don't want to see the Shrek Hulks again. Those are the worst designs of the turtles ever in live action. That and of course 3, but 3 had a trouble production. Hey, I like to listen to music when I'm walking outside. It helps me think. Yeah, that's a Batman moment. What are your thoughts on Boss Baby? The first movie was cute. The second movie I haven't seen yet. I heard terrible things because it's not as good. It's a comic book movie. I'm gonna have fun with it, guys. Dr. Evance. Even Jessica Biel is also pale. I like pale chicks. I'm sorry. They don't know. I prefer girls with color, but I still like pale chicks, especially when the pale skin looks sexy on them, not when they look like a dead body, you know? He's a delight, man. If they made an animated CGI Captain America movie, would you want to? Yeah, I would want to see it if it's done well. If they don't cast a Binto to voice him, who would you cast to play Venom if you didn't like Tom Hardy? I don't know, but anybody else would have been better. Get a big dude, a guy that'll go to hell. Cena would have been a better Venom. It's just they put him for DC instead and I love Peacemaker, but his show has problems too. Yep. And I don't think I think Jessica Biel gets way too much hate for this movie. Yeah, he's great. I love Deadpool so much. He's Hannibal in this movie, but if him and Deadpool ever say like, "Whoa, I looked really young in that," yeah, I can make my own jokes for Deadpool 3 that would not be insulting to Caitlyn because I told Josh, you're just worried that Caitlyn's going to get made fun of. No. Also, that's another thing I wanted to see in Jumanji. I wanted Karen to do more fighting besides dance fighting, which was stupid. That was not needed in the second movie. It just was cartoonish, and I blame Sony for that. He missed. Of course, it's Drake. Because every villain was kind of weak compared to the first movie. I liked Steven Dorff better in the first film. At least it was fun to watch. The second, the the second movie, the villain Luke Goss had a good look to him, and he was intimidating. And just he's not a scary actor. He's a Binto. I was not going to be scared of him. I would just keep my distance because Tony Todd is going to voice Venom. Yeah, again, much better actor than freaking Tom Hardy. He doesn't sound like a cartoon character in Marvel Spider-Man 2 on the PS5. Can't wait for that. Yeah, Jessica Biel isn't deserving of the hate. No, If she had done Jumanji, she would have gotten the praise just like Karen. Again, a woman kicking ass is not what scares me. What bothers me is when they're invincible and they never take a single hit, or they don't have a reason for their skills, like the hobo. That's why I say Chris Terrio is a bad writer, because he wrote the hobo as I'm invincible Supergirl. Yeah, kiss my ass, Chris. Kiss my ass. She was not supposed to be a superhero. What would be better in Jungle Cruise 2020? The cast in this movie? At least Jessica Biel, I like looking at her. I like listening to her voice. She has big, gorgeous lips. Also, Ryan Reynolds is a lot funnier than that gay brother that she had in the movie, who was barely gay in the movie. He never even kisses another dude. He just wears pink and acts weird. That's it. That's all the gay from a Disney movie you're going to get. Hedwig and the Angry Itch is way gayer. Way gayer. That's awesome. Him going through the walls. At least Wesley Snipes is trying in this movie. I'm not saying he's giving a Oscar-worthy performance, but other movies he does way worse acting. Like in Demolition Man, he's a cartoon character in that. Do you think Across the Spider-Verse will be owned by the MCU? Maybe. Depends what happens if the second part comes out next year or whatever. Deadpool 3, you despite what I fear, Caitlin will be just fine. If she's casting it. Brian is a nice person, so you can make laugh like he did with Gal. Yeah, as I said before, Mara J will kick more ass. Yeah, and I want to see her. People got to stop saying that the expanded universe can't be used when they've been doing it all along with General Thrawn and Ahsoka and all these other characters. So, no, you're not. You're kind of generic. He's much better in as Mick in Legends of Tomorrow. Heard that they are making 4 more SpongeBob movies. 3 will be on the Paramount Plus. Only 1 will be in theaters. They better be good, because the last one was decent, but it could have been a lot better if you know. Yeah. No, I'm glad they didn't kill a baby in this movie. I would have been upset if they did that, because a baby is pure and innocent. They don't need to be killed on screen. It just bothers me. People really, people really do not need to stop saying expanded universe can't be done. Yeah, they can. That was yogurt. I could tell it was squeezing out and turned pink. Yeah, that wasn't blood. That was yogurt. You're sexy. I don't care what anybody says. Justin Timberlake must watch this and be like, "Wow, that's my gorgeous wife with that sexy little body and those big juicy lips." You know, I love big juicy lips on a woman. After Across with Gwen Stacy is going to get her own spinoff, probably. Yeah, she's taking her hair out. You know, I love hair. Sexy feet. Yep. Tarantino must love that shot. Feet, 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 feet. Want a solo Squidward movie? No, because he's a good side character. Hmm. Those are some sexy feet. I love it. Yeah, I've 2 years of isolation, and I'm like, yep, I like women's feet now. That are, they use when they do petties and when they rub their feet. It's something about it. It's part of the leg, so it's nice. Oh, you saw William Shatner. Did William Shatner do a film in French? He probably did because he's Canadian. So yeah, that's a meta joke because he hated all the cast members on this set, except for Chris Christopherson. Every other actor he treated like they were death. Jessica Biel, Patton Oswalt, Ryan Reynolds, except for the kids because they don't have a lot of screen time with Blade. Just like Turtles Forever. What if they did April O'Neil Forever? Hmm. I don't pay my taxes. Ah, ayo. I'm sorry. No, I do. I know. Trust me, Wesley. You don't have to preach to the choir. Nowadays, people act like rabid animals when they have to follow a few rules, like wearing a mask. I like her scratchy voice, guys. I'm heterosexual, which means I'm attracted to all kinds of women. Born female, not a man that turned into a woman. It's not the same thing. Look at that hair. Karen only gets more work than Jessica Biel because she's not hated by the community because people loved Doctor Who, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, etc. So, and the Jumanji sequels, while they're mixed, they're still better than Jungle Cruise. At least Disney didn't make them. They're going to do TMTM villains. Yeah, people ran out of ideas. They want to make a spin off for everything now. Just do a good movie and I'll be fine, or show. Thanks to the stupid COVID, Across the Spider Verse got delayed till October. Yeah, but I can wait. No Way Home is still conquering at the box office. It's still making a lot of money, and soon it'll be at 2 billion if it gets there. Asian woman. Hmm. Caitlyn could do something badass like Carrie Ann Moss once. Yeah, just not the Matrix. Do not waste Caitlyn's time to do the Matrix. Don't. Yeah, the dialogue is ridiculous, but it's a comic book movie, guys. He's great. He's like Samuel Jackson, man. Like, I'll kill you. That still makes me laugh. I don't know. Maybe because I've seen more terrible movies from Sony and Fox than this, that this movie's so much fun to watch. It's not great, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm not in pain. You see my face? Compared to Pixels, this movie's like the first Blade. Because at least Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes and Jessica Biel are alive. They're awake in this movie. In Jessica in that movie you have in Pixels you have Adam Sandler talking like this, like he's stoned or I'm on Quaaludes. I'm like, it was too much. Yeah, they're making clones. Do you think Spider-Man No Way Home will beat Endgame? No, not even close. Nothing will. Not even your precious the Batman's going to do that. The running time is going to hurt people. People that can't hold their bladder in, they're going to piss on their themselves. Mm. And if people say Jessica Biel can't act, see Hitchcock. She can act in that. Yeah. Also, Power Rangers, Dino Fury's coming back March 3rd. I'm giving it a second chance because I don't care if the Green Ranger's gay. I don't care about the Green Ranger in that show. I care about the Pink Ranger. Well, you were angry when you did Pixels? Yeah, because the movie could have, it was wasted potential. Good effects, wasted on a horrible script, boring, and just like stupid characters that unlikable characters. These practical effects are still pretty good. A lot of people say this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Again, guys, I've seen worse. A bad villain can't ruin a movie for me. It didn't ruin Live Free or Die Hard. I'm thinking they'll stop making Spider-Man movies in 2099. No, they'll stop soon, eventually. Once Tom Holland is gone, they're going to take a break and just give Miles. Who will win a fight, Blade or Deadpool? That would be a mixed match because they both have swords and it'd be an evenly match, I would say. And no, I never saw Seventh Heaven because it just wasn't my thing. Also, Natasha Lyonne is blind in this movie. I got it. Who will win? 2003 Hulk or 2008? 2008. Nice shot, Patton Oswald. I'm a miss Tom Holland when he leaves. Yeah, can't last forever, you know. At least his movie still has atmosphere in it. That is more than I could say for some other movies. I've seen Marvel movies where I was like, please end. Just end. You're just wasting my time. Oh man, it's a bloody mess. Of course, Patton Oswalt gets killed off. He's not needed in the movie. He was just there to be a filler character. That's scary to not be able to see things in front of you. Yeah, that's why I want to keep my eyesight. That's why I stay away from the sun and from those god awful strobe lights. At first, Lambo Rock Strikes Back said Toby and Andrew wasn't going to appear. Yeah, and that's what they said. They wanted to keep it a surprise. Who will win, a fight Blade or Dracula from Hotel Transylvania? Right behind you. She couldn't see him, so she at least had an excuse. And this film doesn't feel unnecessarily long. It's the longest of the three films, but it doesn't feel 2.5 hours. At least they cut away from that effect. His fingers were getting longer. Yeah. At least in Blade, those are actually vampires, unlike Twilight. Yeah, exactly. They don't sparkle, and they don't freaking play baseball, and they don't feed off the blood of animals. They feed on the blood of humans, like they should. That's why I don't like Robert, because the Twilight movies are way worse than this. Yeah, Patton Oswalt got his brains blown out. He barely dies in movies. Usually he lives, because in Ratatouille he stood alive, and he was a rat in that. I really want to talk to Zendaya, but I don't know her phone number. Yeah, you would have to meet her at a convention. How much battery power is left? 82%. Yeah. Tomorrow I'm gonna do Black Scorpion 2. It's a lot shorter than this. It's only about 80 minutes long. It's not 2 hours and 3 minutes. It's almost done, so we're about halfway through the film. Yeah, Drac is a lame villain. I never said he was a good villain. Even when I first saw this like 10 years ago, I thought he was weak. Immortality would come to suck as as our fit for it. The Blade movies are definitely better than Twilight. Robert Pattinson sucked in those movies, and that's why I'm not seeing the Batman. I'm not going to see the Batman. 3 hours to tell your story. Three. Not two, but freaking three. It's going to feel too long. At least Jessica Biel is emotionally vulnerable in this movie. The hobo, no, she just cries because the script wills it. You are so vulnerable. Again, people say that when girls cry, they're a bunch of whiny bitches. No, when guys do that, it's the worst. Because I've cried on camera because I'm human. I'm not a freaking car. I'm not a block of wood. Here's a puppy whoopee. Puppy whoopee. Puppy whoopee. It's like that dog, yeah. Blade versus Van Helsing. Who would win? That's a cute doggy, besides the mouth opening up. It's the cutest dog ever. With a little face. Fingers crossed, I hope Michelle Jones gets her own. I don't want to see Triple H's junk. Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky, and Cold were great movies. Well, they said they were mixed, but I think the first two movies are the best. Child's Play 1 and 2. The original, not the remake. She's wearing a fox or something? Yeah. I gotta clean this disc. That's Look at the puppy wuppy. Man, Ryan Reynolds is chiseled in this movie. Yeah, you could tell he was made to be Deadpool because he's saying so many pop culture references in this movie. What's your favorite episode of TMNT 2012? Well, I don't remember. It's been a while, so. No, Brian's doing just fine as Deadpool. He just needed a break because he was doing so much, and people are like, "Oh, he's getting tired." I'm like, because they're giving him the same role. See, they couldn't social distance back then. Now everybody's afraid of each other. I'm like, yeah, the movie's almost over. Got to clean the DVD player and the disc because the movie keeps skipping. But you won't notice that, guys, because you're not watching it with me. But at least you're active in the chat. So, and I will say this: Jessica Biel is still better here than Jennifer Garner was in Daredevil because she does all this training to get her ass kicked and then get killed. What kind of stupid freaking anticlimactic end for the character is that? That was just dumb. They should have made her a strong character. Killing her off made no sense. You don't kill the female love interest in the first movie. You freaking idiots at Fox for doing that. I will not blame Ben Affleck for that movie. He didn't write it. At least they kept Jessica Biel alive. That's better than what I could have said. If I met her at a Comic Con, I would let her sign this or sell it or whatever because, like I said, I'm a fan and I'm not the only one. Wow, so fast. I think in the unrated cut they kill Whistler off, but in the theatrical cut they kill off Natasha Lyonne. I don't remember, but yeah, pretty much because Whistler they didn't show his death in the theatrical cut. I know. What do you think about Norm of the North? It's horrible. Jennifer Garner, Daredevil, in that movie, he tried to stop her from dying, but Kingpin told Bullseye to kill her. But it was just underwhelming. They killed both Whistler and Natasha Lyonne in this movie, but they didn't show it. Like, and Whistler's death wasn't even shown in this movie. At least I don't remember. I think it was done off screen. Eternals Assemble. How about not? Yeah, and Hannibal is a fun character. I think Kingpin was black, and yeah, he was. That was not the problem. The problem is you don't need two villains. A Marvel movie needs one strong villain. You don't need four. Nowadays, they're like with Multiverse of Madness. I get it. It's a multiverse. I don't know. I don't. I don't know. I don't know why the Batman is trying to be like the Dark Knight. Yeah, because apparently DC wants they want their $1 billion hit after Aquaman because they haven't had one since that and Joker. I don't know why they gave Northern North crap. Yeah, it's a horrible movie. Like they made a franchise out of that. This movie, yeah, it's not horrible. I've seen worse, guys. I have seen way worse this year and last year. Excuse me. Idiot Patrol. Kingpin is not only a Spider-Man villain, he's also a Daredevil villain. Yeah, we saw him in Hawkeye. Daredevil is definitely another guilty pleasure I like. Yeah, I have the R-rated cut of that. I'll try to do that, but not this month. I'll do it in the spring. The Flash could be DC's $1 billion hit. I want it to be. That way we could get more of them. Time for battle, yeah. There's the headphones like the ones that I have. Hmm. Hey, Salvatore, you just made it to the third act of this movie. They're on motorbikes. What character would you play in the MCU? No. Favorite Punisher movie? I would say the 2004 one. Ooh. Horse humping. That's funny. He just nails this. Dialogue could have been horrible, but Ryan Reynolds. That's why I say to Freddie Stroma, "You're not Ryan Reynolds. Stop trying to be Ryan Reynolds. You're all you are is a freaking replacement. Ryan Reynolds is there's only one Ryan Reynolds, and you're not him. Vigilante isn't any closer than that. I know. Why are you trying to make the writer, the Batman, or the Flash their next billion dollar after Aquaman and Joker? They never had a billion hit a long time ago, even since COVID hit. Yeah, because again, they keep making bomb after bomb. And again, Blade always has a cool entrance in every movie and in the TV show. Thoughts on The Line of Fire? It's a good movie. In The Line of Fire is a good movie. It's a little bit too long, but I think it's a well made Clint Eastwood movie. And John Malkovich is a good villain in that. I only saw it once, so hold on. Let me see if I can find my cleaning liquid here. I don't see it. No Way Home already did it for Marvel. Yeah, exactly. Even if Multiverse of Madness only makes half of what Spider-Man does, it's still going to be a huge hit. She petted him. Women should do that more often. They should pet men more on the head. That's cute. You cute young girl, you. Again, guys, I will take this woman any day over Yelena or Cersei or the hobo because at least this girl is beautiful and she can kick ass and she's not a Mary Sue character. She's emotionally vulnerable and she kicks ass while listening to music, which I like that. It's like Baby Driver with Ansel Elgort that he's listening to music to keep himself steady. And he's deaf in the movie. He could barely hear a word. Hmm. And I like that it's Jessica Biel doing most of the fighting. She did some training to do this. Some of it is a stunt double, and when she can't do the high fights, it's just like Rebecca Ferguson would be in the kick-ass Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation and Fallout. Favorite John Travolta villainous role? Face Off is one. Well, actually, no. Face Off. Nicolas Cage is the villain, but Travolta does kind of like a that Broken Arrow is one of them. I thought he was fun in that. Hmm. That's right. Listen to some music while you're fighting. Yeah. I know a lot of people were thrown off by Ryan Reynolds and think of saying this Blades movie and they're taking over. I'm like, they don't take over. They're side characters and they're fine. They don't hurt me. Yelena's a side character and she stole the movie from the real Black Widow, and that was not cool, Marvel. Screw you for waiting almost 10 years to give Black Widow a movie. And what did we get? A Yelena show. I don't care about her. She's a freaking Binto, and I'll always say that. Yeah, this is thing. Yeah, this they use Wireworks in this one. It's fine. It looks fine. Her motherly instincts get getting because she's a mom now. Hot MILF. Again, where was this cool weapon in Wonder Woman 84? Explain yourself, Jeff Johns. Explain yourself. And there's more dogs. It's like Resident Evil more than a Blade movie, but this came out after the second Resident Evil movie, right? Yeah. The second one was around. It wasn't a major franchise yet. Yeah, those dogs are scary though. Those not Doberman Pinscher. Oh no, puppy, watch it. You saw that really happen. That dog was really tripped. No, those are Rottweilers. Those are scary. I've seen them in person. Jeesh. Puppy. Yeah, don't worry. No real dogs are harmed in this movie. They were CG when they fell. He's funny, man. Wesley Snipes is a great lead in U.S. Marshals, very underrated. Yeah, not as good as Fugitive, but it's fine. Oh, he does his wrestling moves here, yeah, because Triple H is a wrestler first. Well, a retired wrestler now, but this final battle, while it's a little bit underwhelming, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Ready to die. Yeah, he doesn't emote that much. That's the thing. Dominic Purcell emotes. Yep. I still prefer the fight in the first two films. Yeah, I do. He says it like Samuel Jackson. Purcell is just not intimidating. He's not scary. As Mick in Legends of Tomorrow, he has a sense of humor. Here, he's just taking this like he's doing Shakespeare, and he's not. Freaking Dracula 2000 was more intimidating than you. You know, Dracula in that movie. At least he was a vampire with a cape and everything. He wasn't some muscle bound Australian doing the time to play the game. Yeah, I agree with that. It's a wrestler against a Canadian, rock star in a way. The rock star of cinema. He reminds me just a lot of my cousin because ever since COVID hit, all DC the movies flop. Yeah, because they're made by people that don't have the passion. The only shows that they had that were hits were Stargirl, Peacemaker, and Superman and Lois. But even those took it in the ass this year. Well, Peacemaker just started, so I'll give it a pass. But Stargirl, Jeff Johns, not a good writer. Superman and Lois, they made one of the characters gay and they ruined the show for me. Thanks for that, CW. Yeah, I blame the CW for that. I'm never going to blame the cast. They're doing their jobs. They're embodying the characters. It's not my fault that the CW has to pander to a bunch of people that don't even watch their shows. And Blade wearing red, I don't really care for it that much. He looks like he's fighting on Valentine's Day. I prefer him wearing black. It's like when Batman wears red. I don't really care for it that much. I got the Triple H theme song stuck in my head. Yeah. See, that's a wrestling move. Oh man. See, that's a running power slam. That's not a coincidence that he does a wrestling move on him. Again, Triple H was a big wrestler in 2004. Hell, he was in the main event a lot more than Cena was when Cena became a main eventer in 2005. That's awesome. That's great. Hmm. See, she fights hand to hand and she can use a bow and arrow, which is cool. Again, what is your explanation for not doing that in Wonder Woman 84? I know Wonder Woman doesn't use a bow and arrow, but she could. It's not against the rules. She uses a sword and shield. So why not a bow and arrow? Thoughts on Degeneration X? When they started, they were good, but then when they came back in 2006, it kind of wore out its welcome real quick because they did the PG version of it, and it wasn't the same. Bye, Triple H. Time not to play the game. Because you could tell that's not Dominic Purcell. That's a stunt double. It's never him when he's fighting. A bow and arrow for Wonder Woman's kind of against the rules. Why? I want her to use a different weapon. Not, the lasso was never her weapon. It's a sword and a shield, and her crown and those wristbands. What's against the rule? Oh yeah, that CG looks terrible. I admit that. Him changing into like that devil-looking thing. It doesn't even look like Dracula. Ah! Yeah, this looks stupid. I admit that, but there's less terrible CGI in this movie than in the cartoonish CGI in the second movie. When they're flipping around, yeah, it looks fake. Give somebody a bow and arrow in the DCU that besides the Green Arrow. Yeah, taking my shirt off because. It's so cartoonish. They broke the ground. Yep, this bad Van Helsing CGI. That looks bad. Yeah, it does. Like I said, he looks like a Warcraft or Diablo game character. Doesn't look anything like Dracula. When the hell did Dracula have horns? Wrong design, guys. Dracula does not have horns. He has a cape and he has fangs and he has red eyes. He never has horns. Ugh, that face. She's like not only the Captain America for DC, but a gender swap Captain America. No, actually, Stargirl is because she wears red, white, and blue too. But she has a staff, and even in the last season, she was barely in the costume. DC, why was Stargirl in summer school? We don't care about the superhero's journey in school. Peter Parker was better when he's not in school because then you can see him doing Spider-Man stuff. Not when he's in school. We don't care about that. In the first Homecoming, I give it that. But there's a reason in the second movie they go on a Euro trip to get away from the school. Looks like Darth Maul. They took that in the Avengers. Did you hear Jason David Frank wanted to fight TM Punk? Yeah, I think I did. The practical effects look okay on the thing, but it doesn't look like Dracula. He looks like a Diablo World of Warcraft villain. That CG is the worst in the movie, without a doubt. Yep, there's just blood particles all over the sky. And they got infected with COVID. I don't know. Just an observation, guys. Don't bust my balls for that. Yeah, I think Whistler dies off screen in the theatrical cut for some reason. Basically, what COVID does to people's blood, it contaminates it. The Spectacular Spider-Man TV show and the Ultimate Spider-Man comics definitely handles Parker's high school, but that's a show. It's in small increments. I don't want to see the whole movie. Imagine if No Way Home came out and the first hour of the movie was in the school. I would be bored. I saw that in Homecoming. I don't need to see that again. Stargirl, what they did was they took out the action from the first season. That's what the first season I needed more of, action. Second season didn't provide that. Yep, he's turned back to his human form. Man, he looks so skinny in this movie. I heard not many good things about Jason Everfreck as a person. Well, I want to meet him one day. We'll see. He is older now, guys. It's mainly against the rules, mainly because Wonder Woman would be R-rated. No, it won't. She can use a bow and arrow. It doesn't have to disintegrate people. Stargirl, that was because she was failing in school. It isn't her fault. She has to be a hero. You're right. I always want action as well. Yeah. Don't give me an hour of talking. This film is still better than Eternals. It knows what it is. It's not high art. It knows that. It's just trying to be entertaining. Critics just hated it because critics never liked these movies. They hated the first two films too. Look at on freaking Rotten Tomatoes. They didn't like the first one. It's a Marvel movie. It was never meant to be taken seriously. Okay, that's done. My messenger downloading. No. Let me just shut this off. It's done. The movie's almost over, guys. It's pretty short, too. It's the longest of the films, I think, or the second longest. I don't remember. I want more action in my action movie. Not an hour and a half of talking and then the action kicks in. That's what the Batman's going to be. 2 hours and 55 minutes and close to 3 hours, and half of it's going to be talking and just flashbacks and just the same shit I've seen before. I want to see something different, not the same thing. Huntress has a bow and arrow in the DCU, but we'll see her again. Again, give her something to do. Don't call it Birds of Prey and then it's about Harley Quinn. You're false advertising, DC. That's why you failed 3 freaking times. The Suicide Squad was the only accurate one because some of the people died. They might as well have committed suicide in that movie because the characters, because they die in the first 10 minutes. Then you have 6 other people, and half of them I don't care about. I liked Peacemaker, Ratcatcher 2, King Shark was kind of cute, and that was it. Most of the and Polka Dot Man had a good aesthetic, but Will Smith, I severely missed him. I did not give a rat's ass about Bloodsport. He was a bad villain. I don't like him. He's just diet Will Smith, and he's never been as charismatic. That's why Idris Elba will never be Will Smith. The sound quality is not working. For what? The sound? You can't hear me? My sound is fine here. The movie's almost over. Don't worry about it. Movie's almost over, so you just, I'm gonna, when this is done, I'll just showing you in the chat. Hold on. At least Hannibal and this girl didn't die. Mm-hmm. It wasn't Blade, it was Dracula. Yep, and he's coming to the MCU real soon. And no, not an Eternal sequel. Maybe if I refresh my page. Oh, yeah, that's why. Here we go. We're almost done, so I just need... Actually, this is the shortest version with the theatrical cut, that is. It's only an hour and 45 minutes. That's it, right? Is that it? So why did they say this movie was 2 hours? Maybe the unrated cut. I still enjoyed myself, guys. I didn't hate this movie. Wait, where's it? No, let me mute this. Yeah, so that was fun to watch again. It wasn't a chore to get through. Trust me, I know when a movie hurts me. Yeah, I guess I could just shut this off. Um, that's Blade Trinity, and while it's still a better third movie than Matrix Revolutions and the last Matrix movie. At least it wasn't. No, it was only an hour and 45 minutes. And why does it say 2 hours and 3 minutes? That's a lie. That's probably the unrated cut. It's probably like 15 minutes longer. I guess that's probably why I put the theatrical cut because I wanted to finish quick. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and then do another stream tomorrow. So peace. End.